Hello, and welcome back to Taking Off with Mike and Jen. We have some very special guests today. I will let them introduce themselves to you.
My name is Hector, and this is my wife, Danny. Danny is the awesome producer of this podcast.
Yes, she is.
Thanks for taking that away. Today, we're the captain. You guys are flying economy, so y'all are in the back seat. So today we're talking all about pursuing your kids. There's so many misconceptions on what does it look like. Do the kids pursue the parents? Do the parents pursue the kids? What does pursuing your kids look like? What does that mean to you?
Love it. I love this. Because this has been big. This has been big in our lives. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely a huge conversation piece when we talk about, anything like this to any young couples, really any age. Mm-hmm. And it changes dramatically, like from the early ages to the older ages to how parents get old and then they change, even though they were maybe a particular way before. She always says that famous little saying,
twice a child, once an adult.
Exactly. Ooh. And so you kind of start off like this and you become an adult and then you're 80 years old and for whatever reason, you revert to childhood. And so anyway, it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. So they are going to be asking us the questions today.
Yes.
And we're going to have a nice little conversation. Yeah.
He's not. It's going to be fun.
It'll be good.
All right, let's get to it.
Okay. What does pursuit look like in the day-to-day? I know Nick and Jade live in Nashville, Tennessee, so obviously a different state. And what does that look like to you guys? How do you pursue your kids from far away?
I'll take it.
Yep.
We do it probably differently as well, but we talk to our kids, if not every day, at least every couple of days, whether it's a text or just a check-in. That's just, for me, I just feel like that's important for me to do. And if they're busy, they don't answer or it takes them a while or whatever. And I've learned, and this will be part of, I'm sure, questions later, not to take it personally, but they're busy. And it reminds me of myself when I was in my 20s and how busy I was and how I wish I would have known what we're going to be talking about, because I would have probably been a little bit better of a 20-year-old something to my mom. You're selfishly and kind of that's how we are. And we just kind of do our thing and you're having fun and you just kind of forget. So I know that about our kids. So I just kind of try to, little touch basing every day with them. And we're glad that they live only 3 hours away. So we try to see them also once a month. Yeah. We usually go to them.
Now, do you text them and call them? Are you the pursuer, or do you see them pursuing you back? What does that look like?
Oh, for me, you're asking me. Oh gosh, because it's different with Michael and I.
It could look different for Mr. Mike. So
it does, and because our history, it's different because of my baggage. So I want to see things differently with my kids compared to his. So we attack it a little bit. Our reasons, I guess, are a little bit different too. But so day to day, it ebbs and flows. If Jade's really busy doing her producing and stuff, then I know she's busy and I'll just shoot her a text. Hey, good morning. I usually shoot good morning or good night, whatever. And if she has time, she'll call me. And with Nicholas, kind of the same thing. He isn't as flexible with his work schedule, so he's in a meeting or whatever. But he's always super sweet to just say, in a meeting, talk later. I forgot your original question.
What does pursuit look like day to day?
Oh yeah, so for me, it's just a touch base, a touch base, and I'll give them the freedom to say, hey, if you're busy, don't worry about it. I'm just checking in to say hi. I love you. Have a great day, or hope you've had a great day. Have a good night. That's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
My pursuing
day to day,
because I'm kind of a joker. I like to
be sassy.
I kind of like to be sassy. I kind of maybe like to send a meme. Sometimes I'll send just a little scripture. I'm not going to do anything in just one zone. I'm going to have it be multiple, because it can get boring otherwise. So I'm going to try to keep it live and what's Dad doing now? Yeah. He's being serious. He's being not serious. He's being crazy. And I have zero expectations. I think that's important. because I don't expect anything back from them. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt because I don't get a thumbs up. I am just giving. I'm not expecting the receipt. And so that helps me personally not feel anything like, oh, why aren't they texting me back? Because they're probably busy, because they can't, because they don't want to. It doesn't matter, right? I'm just serving them in a sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my day-to-day, and another thing I do is I don't overdo it in the sense of I might want to talk for 30 minutes, but you have a sense of the people you're talking to and what's going on. And I cut it right off. Almost like, all right, I'm done with you guys. Goodbye. You mean Dad's done? That's not what parents do. They'll talk forever. No, I end it. Because that's good for them to be like, I see, maybe I want to talk to him later or whatever.
That's really good.
So that's kind of my tactic per se, is to just end it sooner than what I really could end it. Because I could talk to my kids all day if they want to. And so that's kind of my tact. That's the direction I take.
He's tried to teach me that a little bit, but it's so foreign to me because, and our kids know, if they have mom, it's like, okay. But they're good about saying, okay, I'm really busy, I can't talk. And I'm like, okay. But
I've helped you realize they don't hate you when...
Exactly. Because if we're in the car together and he's hearing it, he'll be like, and I'll be like, oh, okay. So I'll be like, hey, I gotta go. I got things to do with plans.
Oh my God.
And it's just funny, but it is good. I mean, it is good.
Well, you don't want your kids to think, if I answer this, it's like a half an hour out of my day.
Yeah, that's good.
You want them to say, I have no idea how long this is going to be.
Yeah.
And if I'm like, Dad, I can't talk, I'm done, it's not going to hurt my dad's feelings or my mom's feelings or whatever. That's the best way to handle that. And it keeps conversation going. Keeps it going.
Yeah, it's just funny. It made me think when he does send different things, and sometimes he'll go on this literal rant of like scripture, like it'll be pages, and eventually he will say, I'll hear him say maybe like that night to the kids, hey, did anyone read any of my scripture I sent or anything? No one replied, no one did anything. And they'll be like, Dad, you send us books and we don't have time. So and Jade's even funnier. She'll be like, sometimes we just don't read it. We just read the very last thing that you said.
Oh my God.
And he's just like, okay, well, you guys missed out on some really good stuff.
Yeah.
You can't get your feelings hurt.
You can't.
You can't get your feelings
I'm
hurt.
learning that with the phone calls. It was harder for me just because, but I've gotten better, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've worked on it. Good job.
Well, it's good that you guys said that, because like the second question kind of ties in to a little bit of like, it sounds like it took you guys a while to understand like not getting your feelings hurt and what it looks like to pursue your kids.
Expectations.
What would be something that you would want parents to understand about pursuing their kids that maybe was hard for you guys to learn in the beginning, and now it's like, no, it's not that personal, or
I mean, for me, I think it really started, I think when the communication started, when it kind of turned from, okay, these are our kids and they're living at home, to, okay, now they're out of the house. Yeah. Just as any other stage in your relationships, they shift. And I guess I wasn't fully prepared for how it would shift when Jade went to college. When Nicholas went to college, he was still local for a couple years, so he was around. But Jade wasn't, and so, I mean, she had a blast at college. But that first, year, I literally would talk to other people and go, I mean, she doesn't even call me, she doesn't text me. I mean, a week would go by, and that was just very foreign to me because she'd been living at my home all this time and I saw her every day. I guess I wasn't prepared for what that would look like when she left. I thought she'd always want to talk to her mom every single day, right? And so when she went, I remember I cried. I would cry. I would be like, oh, what's this? I've lost her forever, that kind of thing. But I had to learn, my gosh, she's having the best time in college. I want that for her. She had, tons of friends and went to a great school. And of course, Michael would help me, and the couple friends of mine that were ahead of me with their kids, they helped me understand that. And so I I mean, I won't say I pulled back. She always knew I was there, but I lowered the expectation of myself in her. I had to do that because my feelings did get hurt, and she didn't mean it intentional. She was swamped. Morning to night, you know?
Yeah, and you know, the transition from this is the life that the kids have before they go off to college to now this is a whole 180-degree turn. Like, it's way different. You know, high school and what you do in high school and that routine of, like, you know, 8 to 4, you're home, whatever. College is this total new thing. Like, I might not have classes Monday, Tuesday. I'm free to do whatever. It's wild time. It's vacation. And then there's no consistency. There's not a pattern. So parents have to know. Just chill. Just chill out. And what I wanted to say in the very beginning was, I think you, as a young person, right, whoever's going to listen to this, if it's they've got older kids already, they're going to have to try something else. But start this at the beginning, this communication process at the beginning. I mean, kids now are getting phones super early. So now they have the opportunity. How do we communicate with our kids? How do we stay connected? How do we not helicopter them? How do we want to try to get it two-way instead of one-way, where we're just, right? So you're starting this process way early before they even head out to college. And you're thinking about this, not just living life. You're thinking about it. You're thinking, how do we keep connected with our kids to where they want to communicate with us? Is it safe? Is it a safe place? Right? I mean, you can talk about all kinds of stuff. Like,
that leads me to my next question. Just starting from a young age to just adults, like, what are some ways you have pursued your kids' hearts, not just their behaviors? And also, like, how do you do that without even being a helicopter parent? I know that we see so many helicopter parents that just, I know they want to protect their kids so bad from the world, but how do you do that? And how did you guys do that?
Like, what's the healthy balance of it? Because eventually they're gonna have to go into the world because we live in it. And if you homeschool your kids or you don't let them do these things, eventually they're gonna be on their own one day.
But how do you pursue their hearts and not just their behaviors?
Great question.
To me,
such a good question.
That's a great question. One of my most huge beliefs is you have to walk the walk. You can say whatever you want. You can teach whatever you want. You can send scripture all the time. You're trying to, you know, affect behavior. You want to see good behavior. But good behavior does come from the heart, right? Or it comes from, I don't want to be grounded. I don't want to be spanked. All that stuff. It's coming from those two places only. So if you are the person, if you're the parents, and this is going to take a while because they need to see, how do mom and dad react during all the times of life? Happy, sad, all the things. When I come home with a bad grade, and how does mom and dad react? So you're saying one thing and you're doing another. I see that very consistently in people, badly, consistently bad. And so you have to walk the walk. That's more important. The lack of words, but the actions, to me, are more important than trying to just pour. Because the pour, and then you don't back it up. This was poured crap. Didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything. It didn't.
Shiest.
But you see what I'm saying? Then they don't want what you're preaching.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the heart. Yeah. And I love that you said that, because I felt we're very cognizant of that as the kids grew up, which is actions are louder than words. And when the kids see that modeled, it almost, not that it doesn't matter what you've said, but that's what they're looking at. And so that feeds to their heart. And we had to also allow them, like when they were in school, there'd be sometimes some parties or things that they would go to individually. And we knew what was happening at those parties. And as far as like what you said, protection, I mean, did I want him going? Did we want him going? No. But the leash was very loose on our kids growing up. And then if they gave us a reason to tighten it, then that was on them.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much way out here. We never gave them curfews. They didn't have curfews. It was just way out here. And we had to show them that we trusted them because they had done nothing to lose our trust at that point. So that helps prepare them for the world because all of a sudden they're out of your house and they don't have mom and dad seeing what time they come, anything. They could do whatever the heck they want. And so, it was hard. It wasn't easy. And it was very hard. And sometimes he'd be stronger and sometimes I'd be stronger. But, that's kind of what we did for them. And I think that helped their hearts. And then us in pursuing their hearts over just behavior. Gosh, for me, I think when you get to know your kids on such a level, like their vulnerabilities, I think you're able, hopefully if you're wise, to, like he said, sometimes they just want to spill their hearts and they don't want preached at, they don't want told anything, and you just have to listen, and it's hard sometimes.
Super hard.
Very hard.
To do that. Because you just want to teach. You want to correct
Always.
and teach.
Yep.
Always. It doesn't end. Our kids are your age, 28 and 29. And we still see things where we're, I'll have to, if it's not on FaceTime, I'll literally be like over my mouth and just be like, don't say a word, don't say a word. And just in their moment, you kind of minister to their heart and what they're doing or going through. You know what I mean? But it doesn't stop. It just never stops. It's like this constant, like breathing air. Because they're evolving as well. They don't know who they know who they are, but when they leave the house, they could just change their minds and go whole, you know what I mean? And so I felt like we tried to just stay like a foot in, a foot out, and kind of read them and where they were kind of telling us.
To sum it up completely though, actions speak louder than words. Do not say the words if you're not going to follow up with actions.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a mantra of ours.
It's a waste of your time.
Kids see everything, even at a young age. They see it. So if you're trying to practice, let's just say, go to church, go this, and then they see you at the grocery store being ugly or mean in the car or talking unkindly about a friend, and trust me, they're getting all of it.
Before we move to the next question, I did want to piggyback on what you just said. How can you encourage the parent that has talked the talk, has walked the walk, is doing everything that they can, and they still have a son or a daughter that is just, they don't want to have that relationship with a parent? How can you encourage that parent today?
Man, what?
I love these questions because they're like, I have so much to say about all this stuff, right? So I think about the prodigal son.
Yes.
Obviously, they had a choice. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. Why did they choose that and the other one didn't? No idea. Yeah. It's in there because probably this is what we see in our own lives. Why does brother do this? Sister does this. Why does sister do this? And this sister doesn't. Blah, 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 blah. Because as parents, we try to raise our kids like the best that we possibly can. That's our intention. But yet we're just dumb parents. That's why grandparents like their grandkids. They finally know what to do. They can look backwards 30 years and see, oh, I'd do this different if I had a chance. And so she and I talk about that, where we would probably have raised Jade and Nicholas a little bit differently in some respects, because now we're smarter than what we were when we were 30.
Yeah.
So that's why people need to listen to these podcasts, is learn this stuff, right?
How many books you read about raising kids?
But but what you talk about, so the prodigal son, then you have Cain and Abel. Like, why did Cain decide to kill Abel? How bad of parents were Adam and Eve? I have no idea, right? But that was the choice. The why in the road. Some people just take it.
Yeah.
They just take it. God knows what's going to happen in the end. Franklin Graham was kind of a hellraiser. Now he's leading his dad's ministry. Maybe he just needed to go down that path, and God knew he needed to go down that path in order to become the person that he is. So you are going to do the best you can as a parent, but that's also, we're very huge into counseling. So I would say, if you have that situation developing, hit it off at the pass, maybe before it becomes the teenager. Go early. If you see like, we've got some rubbing here. We have this like, I have wild child here and I have compliant person here.
Yeah.
Maybe we all need to go to counseling and figure this out and see, maybe I have to parent this kid a little bit differently than I did here. Because it's not cookie cutter. Oh, Johnny wasn't that way and you're this way. Well, that would not be a good statement to make, number one. Because this might be the cooler kid. But Johnny's just compliant, so he's easier to manage.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you need to like get some help. She said read some books.
I said, no, that's not what I said. I said no matter.
Reading books is great.
I said no matter how many books you read, there is no right or wrong way to parent your child because they're all just individual, unique little cool things that God gives us. But
well, I'm gonna put some pressure on that one a little bit. Like Raising a Modern Day Knight.
Right.
Unbelievably great book that every woman should read.
Even
specifically because it's understanding boys and how wild and crazy they are. And guys, dads, like the kid will say, hey, Dad, can I take the gun and go outside and shoot? Yeah, sure. And then he's going to watch football. And then the mom's like, what?
Yeah.
You're crazy. Well, she needs to understand that. And I'm not saying give them permission to do that. She needs to understand how we're made, how guys are made. And so that's just a great book in itself, just as an example, right? But counseling would be, in my mind, one of the best things you can do if you're really having an issue and you can't figure it out.
Yes.
You can't go to mentors. You can't go figure it out and you're not making any progress. Go to a counselor.
Yeah.
But I think, and I think a little bit of what Danny was asking, because we know friends, we know people that this has happened to where it was a good relationship growing up. They would never think that anything was wrong per se. And then all of a sudden their kids leave and they don't want that tight relationship. And now it's like, wait, I thought things were okay. Because we're all human. Sometimes we do miss things. And if your child, as they grow up, isn't as open, communicative with you or whatever, then you could miss that. Yeah. And that's so normal. We missed a lot of things. Sorry. Excuse me. But I want to encourage, let's say, that parent that has that child or children. If you felt like you did everything in your humanly power to do correctly in raising your child, and then they don't want that relationship with you now, or as close, or that you feel like they're doing this, or even making different choices than what you are shocked about. I think, and this is just me speaking from people that have gone through this, I would think the wisest thing and the best thing for your soul, you continue going to church, you continue praying to God, because now they're in God's hands, and you have to remember, He actually really does love them more than we could. And that's hard as a parent to fathom, because I would literally do whatever for Nicholas and Jade. He loves them more than that, and I have to trust that. So number one, you have to trust that. And then I would suggest, like if it were me, if it were Michael, I think we would suggest, hey, I know you don't really like talking to me that much, or however you converse with them, and just say, but I feel like there's just been a shift. It might mean nothing, but I would love to go to counseling with you in between your college break, or if you want to go see one on your own at college. I will pay for that. I'll take care of that. Because as a parent, kids also, it's harder for them sometimes as they grow up to speak openly with their parents. So there could actually be something that has damaged that child that the parent doesn't even know they did, and would be so sad if they even knew they hurt their child that way. Could have been a comment, could have been whatever. And the child heard it, and now they're a young adult and they remember it, and it hurts them, and then it steers their life. And so I would just make sure that my adult child knew I was open to counseling, and that I loved them no matter what, and put no expectation on them. Hey, I'm always here for you. Is it okay if I just call you like once a week just to check and make sure you're okay? It doesn't have to be long. Keep it real short, keep it simple, don't give an expectation, and you stay in the Word, and you just kind of keep that door open so that they know, okay, this is a different mom or dad that I saw growing up. This is different. This is what that adult child now wants to see. And when they see that shift, the child will then, as an adult even, feel safe to slowly, hopefully tiptoe. And then, really it's in God's hands. And I love what you said about Franklin Graham, because how hard was that for Billy and his wife? Right,
Yeah.
Billy. Oh, gosh, I forgot his name for a second. Sorry. Just that would be really, really hard. And yet he just gave it up to God. And eventually, look, like Michael said, sometimes God has other things for our children that we don't like, because how else do we then shepherd and mentor others that come along if we don't have a story to tell?
That's good.
Really good.
So you got to kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like pursuing your kids has just changed in every season of your kids, from them going to, daycare, elementary school. Then you get into that middle school age where it's like really weird and they don't want to talk to anybody and they're just hiding everything. How did you go about that season where it was like a transitional season of like, maybe you were connecting good and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't want to tell mom, dad anything? Or like, how did it look? How did pursuing your kids change as they were growing up and getting older?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's hard.
Have you ever seen a roller coaster?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Not just this either. It's this, and
It's a two-part question. Did you have a kid that was harder to pursue than the other?
It depends on how you look at it.
Different times too. Yeah,
Depends on how you look at it.
How you look at it,
if you
and at
look
different
at
times.
wild, crazy, fight back,
So true.
that's Jade.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Her
look
whole life
at
growing up.
just be quiet, compliant, seemed pretty good, that'd be Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And so, different personalities, different reactions. It's funny too. It's like the Nicholas of 1-year-old is no different than the 30-year-old, and the same with Jade. Obviously, their personalities, everything's different. But what I'm saying is the basis, the foundation, who they are.
Their DNA, their core.
Their DNA, their core is exactly the same. And so, first you have to realize that and know what you're kind of dealing with, so that when it comes your way, you can recognize it and then hopefully do something about it.
Well, remember when they were younger too, I probably was more so than him, but he tagged along with me in the ride. Me, so concerned with staying close with our kids. And, when you come from brokenness, you just latch on to things. For me, it was latch on to Michael, Nicholas, and Jade, to the point of suffocation, I'm sure, at some point. Yeah. And as we've said in other podcasts, that's why we always said, if we can afford to, we'll pay for your undergrad and your counseling, because somewhere I'm sure we hovered. But remember, we bought the book, there's 5 love languages. What's your kid's love language? I went and bought that because when they were in elementary school, we're like, we need to, you think you know who they are and what they are. And then their little personalities shift and change. When they're in school, it shifts and changes. And then you're like, oh gosh, now we're dealing with a different thing. And you're just literally trying to survive and not have your kids hate you. And have them tell you just a little bit of something. I just remember being kind of shocked recently, like in the last couple years, you'll know what I say when I say it. We knew Nicholas had a tough middle school time. I just remember it. It was awful. And I felt like we tried to do everything to get both kids to open up. We would always say, when they were little, tell me something shocking and we'll give you $1. And it gave us a place to be like, when they come home from 2nd grade, I have something. We're prepared at 2nd grade, who knows? Yeah. But we're prepared for the worst. And basically that helped us to know, keep your mouth shut, be safe, and don't preach. So when they would say that, especially me, I'm always the worst, I'd be like, close your mouth. And so we kind of started that with them. And we thought,
So how much cash did they rack up?
Boy, I don't even know. I really don't even know.
$dollars, though.
They did get some dollars.
Enough for counseling.
Yeah, like, they'd come home with like a cuss word or someone said something. To them, it would be shocking little. And we'd think it was kind of funny because it was like, it wasn't that bad, but to them, it shocked them.
Yeah.
But within a couple of years, we were talking about just childhood. And Nicholas, he expressed, we knew it was a bad time in his life, but we did not know that he got bullied to the extent that he did and how he stopped it. And yet, it makes me cry now because that's just the mom in me. But I told Michael, I said, gosh, I felt like we tried everything back then to have him open up. We talked to anyone older than us that had kids that had already been through middle school to say, are we doing this right? What do we do? I feel like there's more. And there was still just that little part that he kept to himself. And that breaks my heart because I'm like, gosh, could we have done something? And we didn't. I don't know. But I mean, he was bullied. And of course, he probably knows. That's where the actions, right?
Yeah.
He knows his mom was a firecracker. And probably he thought, I didn't ask him this, but his little mind probably thought, if I tell my mom this, she literally might march in there and go right up to that mother. And it's possible. So maybe he knew that about me and I didn't even know that about myself. But he told us that that was so painful. And I think we cried when he told us, or I know I did, because I was just like, honey, I felt like we failed him, right? And we didn't. He's like, no, it's, whatever. But those are the things in parenthood that you're like, gosh, we thought we were trying to do as much as we could right.
Yeah.
And we still missed that. And so I don't know why, I know that had to do with something that you asked. We went down a little rabbit hole. But I think, the shifts, the changes and the shifts. And so that, was one of them. And then Jade, we had I think mother-daughter thing, had a really tough time with her. I mean, was it middle school or was it high school? It's
Middle.
a blur because I want to black it out of my memory.
It was middle.
It was middle.
The 13, 14,
Man.
12.
Middle school years are rough.
Middle school, I don't think parents,
Gosh.
if I think back about middle school, it's so long ago.
Yeah.
But I do remember some things. That's the time where, like, number one, you're going through the physical changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes those physical changes, not only inside, there's chemical things going on, but externally things are going on. And so people look different. They get fat, they get skinny, they get zits, they
get boobs.
Braces.
all the stuff that goes on. And then kids are brutal in middle school. And so if they're going to find a weakness, they're going to go after it. So parents have to realize that and realize that that's their entire world, those kids. That's their world that they live in. And it also is a time that, as bad as it is, that's a time that you grow up, because that's when you do kind of hopefully get some thicker skin and realize, like, I go to church every weekend. What does this even mean? Now I can apply it to my life, possibly. And then how do my mom and dad see this? And there's a lot going on there from every angle. But I said it was like a roller coaster. It was like a roller coaster, and you just have to make adjustments. That's when we went to counseling. We went to counseling as a family during that time. So,
Sorry.
Pat
Higginbotham.
That's right. Anyway, it was funny. It was funny because we're a family going to counseling, and
which is cool because not many families can say that they've gone to counseling as a family.
No, and it's like a kids counselor / adult. And so there's toys everywhere, and it's funny.
Gosh, so funny.
And but what's funny about it too, though, is that it was a bonding moment because we're all like in the car together, going to counseling. We can talk about it after. What Pat say, blah blah blah, and funny things, and they're playing with toys, and we're in with Pat, and then we all go out for dinner after that. I mean, you're still doing stuff as a family. That's still like, and you're communicating with your kids. You really give a crap about them. You really care. Like, we don't like how your behavior is now. You may not like how mom and dad are, and now we're going to go get some help.
Because we don't know how to do it.
We don't know how to do it. And so now you have both parties getting help. Essentially, but you're doing it as a family. You're communicating,
and you're showing them not to be afraid to go to counseling one day.
Correct.
And
you're saying, I care about you.
But
I don't know what's going on, but I care enough that I'm going to get some help. That's a huge communication there.
For sure. And I think, like, you summed it up perfectly to, I think, Hector's question. Each stage as a parent, just like kids are changing, parents tend to be more stuck in their ways because we've already gone through all this and now we're just living life as adults. So you're kind of here.
That's a very good way to say it. Parents don't need to be stuck in their ways.
That's exactly right. And so we recognized early on, we may not have said the words, but in looking back, we refuse to be stuck in these adult bodies. Just because we're the parents, it doesn't mean we know it all or we're right about everything.
Yeah.
We really tried to listen to our kids. We didn't have them, he brought this up the other day, we didn't always have them sit at the kids' table. They were allowed to be part of adult conversations appropriately. And we valued what they had to say. We would say, just because you're a kid doesn't mean what you say is not important to us.
That's huge, yeah.
And so during the different stages, and they were, I really thought our daughter would hate me her whole life. I thought I was the worst mother on the planet. And with counseling and I think open communication and trust, that it's not like that at all. But I mean, you can ask Michael, it was rough. But I was willing to also shift and change and be like, what do you need from me? I don't know. You're my only daughter I've had. He's my only son. We're open to changing. We felt like we didn't always try to act like we had it figured out. Because what was more important was the relationship with the kids. So as parents, be ready to shift and change. Don't be stuck in where you are or who you are, because your kids are changing and they could be teaching you something very valuable. We learned a lot from our kids that when I first had babies, I never would have thought I'd learn from my kids. I was just ignorant. And I still learn a lot
and
from
it's
them.
never too late.
No, never too
Never
late.
too late.
Never too late. Start now. I don't care if your kids are 50 and you're whatever age and the relationship hasn't been close. The biggest thing you could do is you go to your adult child and you say, I am sorry. I know I've hurt you. I am sorry. Baby steps. But can we go to counseling? What do you need from me? Because this isn't working.
That's really great advice, because you don't see many families do that.
No, I think it would help.
We have a couple more questions before we land the plane, but I have a story that I wanted to share because I don't know if Mr. Mike remembers this, but it reminded me of this one question that we have. And so it was 5th grade. It was Ressam Elementary.
I don't remember.
I had just moved into this area. I was brand new. It was like my first day of class. And I remember in 5th grade, I didn't have classes with Jade, but we all kind of sat together at lunch. And I remember she was like, you can sit with us. And it was just a bunch of her friends. And I felt like such a cool kid. But I won't ever forget, you were the only dad that came to sit with Jade for lunch. And I remember I'm like, oh my gosh, her dad's here. And for me, that was just such a... I will never forget this because I was like, I don't see any dads come and sit at lunch with their child in elementary school. And so my question for you is, what do you hope your kids remember most about you pursuing them? And that moment, it's ingrained in my head of you just sitting at lunch with Jade.
That's beautiful.
And even though you're not my dad, that moment is just so sweet to me. So,
well, thank you for that. But I will say I'm fortunate to be an airline pilot so that I can not work 8 to 5 every day. Because I'm sure there's dads who would like to be there for sure. So the question is, what is the pursuing?
What do you hope your kids remember most about how you pursued them?
I think I want them, I would say if I could be a bug to them, but in a good way, that would fill my bucket. Like, Dad over pursued us. They know I like all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of things I could be doing. And if they feel like he's choosing me over that stuff, then that would be, if I die someday and I'm looking down and they're talking, that's what I would like to hear them say is, Dad was he'd call me at the worst times. He'd text me at the worst times.
He
wants to hang out.
Get off,
He wants to hang out. He wants me to go to Home Depot with him. You know, I don't want to go to Home Depot, but he asked me to go to Home Depot to hang out. So that's what would be my dream, you know, legacy wise would be what I passed on to my kids and how they look at me in that sense.
What about you, Miss Jen?
That's crazy. First of all, I can't believe I'm like 5th grade. That's insane, right? Wow. I think I just want them to hopefully, it's like I'm dead already.
Not yet.
She can go there so quickly.
Oh, I so can. I so can.
Not where we were going.
I think I would want them to almost laugh about how mom wouldn't leave us alone.
Yeah.
But in the best way.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't really, to anyone listening, might be like, ooh, what kind of mom was that? But they would know what that meant.
Yeah.
That I was just, no matter what, always there. Always there.
That's a good description. Always there.
Always there, no matter what. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, well, so we've got 2 last questions.
Okay.
They're just like quick little funny questions. So mine is, what's something that your kids were so passionate about that you like tried to get into and it just like, you couldn't get into it? Or that you had to put on an act that, oh, this is the funnest thing ever.
The best thing ever. I love it.
Oh.
But inside you're like kind of dying.
You're like,
Okay, I totally remember, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when Nicholas got into video games, and I remember someone saying to me, someone saying, you know, you've got to like figure out stuff your kids like and do it with them. And I'm like, I'm like, oh gosh, he loves video games. And I remember, literally it happened one time. I said, Nicholas, let me play video game with you. I want to learn. And he's like, really? I want to say it was middle school. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. You guys, I mean, I want to say I like Pac-Man. I do not like video games. And I promise I remember, this is funny. I remember thinking, okay, Lord, if he really likes me playing video games with him, this is going to be so hard for me because I really hate it. But it's with him, I'm spending time with him and we're killing things and we're doing stuff. But he didn't really have the patience because I wasn't catching on real well.
Yeah.
So it didn't last long.
Yeah.
But I totally remember that. And pridefully being proud of myself that I even went there because I really hate it.
That's funny you say that because I actually did that with my mom.
Really?
Yeah, I handed her the remote and she was playing. I was like, give me that back. I was like, oh, we'll figure something out later.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It just, I know some girls are. I just couldn't get the hang of these new video games.
That is funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think with Jay.
I can't pull one out. I can't think about it.
Maybe it's different because you're a guy and you had a son.
And you do everything. You run, you play pickleball, you play basketball.
He does. He's very diverse.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've just done all the things that they've always wanted to do, whether it's gaming or games or whatever it is. I'm pretty adventurous. I like to do stuff.
Even soccer. I remember now too. They were playing soccer, and I like watching and I like kicking a ball. But we didn't play soccer in school when I grew up, so it wasn't like a big thing for me. And I remember like, oh, let's kick the ball, and we'd kick the ball, and I'd be like, oh, this is all right. But I faked it. I was like, this is awesome. Let's play soccer.
That is funny. That was part of my second question. What is a pursuit fail story? But we'll just keep it at that. Thank you guys for answering all of our questions. You guys are two of the best people that we know, where you pursue your kids daily, and we see that and we want to mirror that. And I know so many people are going to be so encouraged by hearing this podcast. And so
thanks for asking the questions.
Of course.
This was fun. Little mix up, little change up.
You want to come back from economy and land this plane?
I think it's time to take you guys out of the big seats.
You're the captain now.
You're the captain.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.